This is the only video you'll ever need to watch to master solar sales with Facebook ads. Because if you're new around here, my name is Andreas, and for the past 4 years, I've been the CEO of Python Marketing, where we specialize in helping solar pros just like yourself to step away from the daily grind of client acquisition by implementing streamlined automated systems. We've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into ads to generate leads in every single market. This applies both to in-person sales and virtual. I'm going to give you the complete breakdown on what to show on the ads, where to qualify leads to get the lowest cost per lead as possible while qualifying them as thoroughly as you need, so you can spend most of your time just going to appointments and actually closing deals instead of wasting hours on end knocking on doors. And if you're watching this video, you're already ahead of the curve, because you already know that social media is the place to be. I'd say a good 80% of solar pros believe that knocking on doors or cold calling is a better and more consistent method to generate leads than any online platform. But of course, you and I already know that you can generate an infinite amount of leads through social media without needing to lift a finger. So just for knowing that, you're already ahead of 70% of people. Because of course, prospecting 24/7, wasting your time guessing if the person who you're trying to get in touch with is even qualified or interested whatsoever, is quite simply a waste of time which you could be using on implementing systems that are going to deliver leads today and in a month and in a year. Not just knocking on doors today to get appointments tomorrow and dealing with hundreds of rejections every single day. And even if your manual efforts are really good, you're always tied by time. So if you wanted to double your sales, you need to hire more people or double the hours you're working every day. I'm going to leave in the description down below the ultimate guide to generating solar leads in 2025. So after this video, just go ahead and watch that. I can promise it's the most valuable video you'll ever watch on generating solar leads in 2025. So coming back to social media, we already know that this is the method to reach people 24/7 without us needing to lift a finger. We can choose any platform that's online where we can release a sales asset, as we like to call it. For example, on Google, you can set up a landing page and you can receive leads at any time of the day. On Instagram, you can make a video and people can potentially watch it an infinite amount of times. Same goes for Facebook, same goes for YouTube. The key is being on an online platform. And the simplest steps that we need to take is generate leads, set those leads in for appointments, and close the sales. To generate leads, we've tested out every single platform, and by far the most effective one has been social media, Facebook and Instagram, because everybody is already on there and you have a much higher chance of actually generating qualified leads through those platforms than on Google, for example. On Google, you're tied by how many people are actually searching for solar in your area. Plus, you're only competing for the top 3 positions where the biggest companies are spending tens of thousands of dollars to actually show up at the top. So to avoid clashing against the titans of the industry, Facebook and Instagram make it much easier. They target people who might not be already looking for solar, and it can generate that interest at a fraction of the cost than Google, for example. By setting up solar-related ads and not ads that speak about government programs or a bunch of misinformation, we can make sure that whenever we call leads up, they will actually be responsive to our offer. And also, we really like testing videos because if a person watches a 30 to 60 second long video, they're going to be infinitely more interested in your proposal than if they just saw a quick image of a solar panel with a little bit of information. So once again, if it's solar related and if it's a video, it's going to deliver the most qualified leads because they have already consumed a lot more information and know a lot more about the proposal than if it was just a simple image or a misleading ad. Always test 3 to 5 different ads at a time. Even if you think you have a really good ad, it's not always a good idea to just spend all your money on that single ad. It's a much better idea to have 5 different ads, spend money on all of them, and see which one performs best. Once you have a proven ad, then you can delete the other ones and just pour in all the money into that one. After someone clicks, a very big mistake that most solar pros do is that they try to redirect leads to their website or a landing page, but that just sets you up for failure. Rather, what we do is qualify them inside the platform of Facebook or Instagram because there are so many less moving parts to optimize. You just have to optimize the actual ad. And if people are not opting in for any reason, then you can just delete the qualifying questions that you added. By adding conditional logic, you can also ensure that, for example, if someone clicks on an answer that means they're not qualified, for example, that they're not a homeowner, you can instantly disqualify them without them having to reach your CRM and waste tons of time with you trying to call them up, even if they're unqualified. This way, Meta also knows who to target because they're only going to be retargeting and sending the ads to more people that are similar to the ones who actually completed the form. And it's not just going to be the 3,000 people that clicked on send message because there's no barrier to entry. Once again, with landing pages, it's just going to be harder to optimize. You're going to waste a lot more budget. And with messages, you're just going to get a ton of unqualified leads. Much better to have simple forms that qualify leads inside of the platform and get the cheapest cost per lead as possible. After that, you traditionally have to call them immediately. If you wait more than 5 minutes, you already lose 70% of the chance of actually booking them in. So either you have to be by your phone 24/7, or you can hire a call center or an assistant that's going to call those leads as soon as they come in. Or the better alternative, as we prefer to do it, is to automate it with AI so that whenever a lead opts in through Facebook, we have an AI assistant that's going to call them up the second they come in, qualify them, and book them in for appointments. If they don't answer the AI calling assistant, it's going to go through SMS. Same conversation, same qualifying and booking process, just through text message, because oftentimes people opt in at night or very early in the morning when they're scrolling on their phone and they don't have a chance to pick up the phone call. But through SMS, they might answer and book in that appointment with you. This way, you only need to show up to pre-qualified appointments since the leads are coming in 24/7 through Facebook. The appointment setting AI assistants are doing their job, so you only have to go to the pre-qualified appointments, or if the leads didn't respond to the AI, you just have to call them up. Of course, you can also delegate them to a closer and you have a completely automated sales process where the lead gen is taking care of the appointment setting and someone is taking care of the closing. You can just sit back, relax, and watch the deals being closed. The biggest mistakes when running any type of Facebook ads are the following. First of all, not qualifying the leads, once again, by sending them to messaging funnels or landing pages, because this is going to guarantee that your ads are being sent to tons of unqualified people, since Meta sees that they got a conversion, that they got a lead because someone clicked on send message, but that doesn't mean they're a qualified lead. So they're just going to send your ads to more of those people, wasting most of your budget. Number 2, having a slow response after a lead has been generated is asking to lose the opportunity after you've already paid for it. That's why it's very important to actually automate it with AI to guarantee that it doesn't matter if you're not the one by your phone or if you have to hire an expensive call center, that someone will always take care of the leads. It doesn't matter at what time they actually opt in. And finally, an incoherent appointment setting process after the lead generation. So for example, if you generate leads with an ad that talks about solar panel installation by the government and you call regarding no-cost solar, for example, they're not going to have any idea of what you're actually talking about, and they're going to say, I didn't opt into anything. It can be such a small difference in the lead generation to the appointment setting process, but the leads will still be confused about what you're calling about. They will not be interested, and they will not book in any appointments. So make sure that your appointment setting process, your scripts, are the exact same as the lead generation messaging that you're already using. In terms of the metrics, you can expect to get qualified leads at around $20 to $30. You can do it for lower, but if you're around this ballpark, you're in a good spot. Normally around 30% of leads turn into appointments. You will always have a percentage of leads that it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how many times you call them with AI, with your own number. They're just not going to pick up. A couple other ones, despite adding all the qualifying questions that you want, they're gonna lie about them actually being qualified. I don't know if they do it on purpose, but you'll always receive a percentage of unqualified leads, but it's safe to say that around 30% of leads should turn into an appointment. And finally, if the appointments are qualified and they actually show up, around 30% should be closing. If you're not getting the desired results, fix the bottlenecks. So for example, if your qualified cost per lead is not at $20 to $30, then it doesn't make sense to fix the close rate since the issue is way up here. If 30% of leads are not being booked in for appointments, you have to fix the actual scripts or the cadence of the calls. And finally, the close rate by making sure that they're actually qualified and that you have a strong closing script. With the right funnel implemented, it's a night and day difference between having to door knock and cold call all day to generate a couple of appointments to having leads rolling in 24/7, having your own AI assistant booking them in, and you just having to close those deals yourself, or once again, just delegating them. Once you crack the code on this funnel, you can ensure you'll have a much more consistent business since you know how many leads are going to come in today, tomorrow, and in 1 week, and how many of those are going to convert into appointment and sales. It's basically adding more consistency to your business while removing most of the work. And if you've tried it and it didn't work, I invite you to go into the Facebook ad library. Just type it in like that and type in solar, and you can see how many people are paying right now to show solar ads to potential prospects. You can see at the time of recording this video, it's over 50,000 solar ads that are being promoted as we speak. So if people are running it correctly, we can come to the conclusion that out of those 50,000 plus solar ads, some people are making money off of those ads. If this platform didn't work, then probably nobody would be running ads, but we have to study what is working and implement it for our own sales process. Since we're moving more and more into a digital future with AI, the people that adapt and implement these strategies are going to be reaching entire cities with their ads at the same time, while the people that are left behind are still stuck door knocking, trying to guess if people are qualified or even interested in the offer that they're selling. So once again, you can either get good at door knocking or you can get good at reaching an entire city with your ads at a time. The choice is yours. And once again, the ultimate guide on generating solar leads is linked down below. Watch that video and you'll never need to watch another video on generating solar leads ever again. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.